It's a wonderful day to move together. Let's start on our backs, something under your head to help your ribs relax down and back. You can always put something underneath your shoulder blades as well. A blanket with your head a little bit higher if you're really working on that rib thrust. And if you need a reminder, watch the alignment skill video for rib thrust. Very helpful to watch those videos every once in a while just to check in with yourself. And then from here, stretch your legs long, reach your arms overhead. You can just use the floor or you can use a block. I'm going to use the block today at the second highest height. And then walk your arms over to the right a few steps, walk your legs over to the right. Let the left side of the body drop down. You are welcome to cross your left ankle over your right ankle or cross your left hand on top of your right hand. I'm going to stick with just my legs and my arms side by side today. And then start to tune into your breath. Let that whole left side of the body be heavy on the mat. Your left leg all the way up to your hip, your left rib cage to your shoulder. And then try to relax. Are your thighs holding tight and causing your knees to lift up or causing your pelvis to tuck under? Are your shoulders tight, causing the ribs to thrust forward slightly? Simply start to observe without any judgment. Be kind to yourself. This is your journey. Can you relax your hips again a little more, your waist? Scan your body. See what feels like maybe you're carrying a little bit of extra tension there, and then relax those areas over and over again. And let's go over to the other side. So walk your arms and legs through center. Walk them over to the left. You can cross your right hand on top of your left and your right ankle on top of your left, but I'm going to stick with just wrist and ankle side by side. One of the reasons I'm sticking with wrist and ankle side by side is because I have done this 1,000 times with my wrist and my ankle crossed over. And I like this variety of angle of not crossing over. It hits my muscles in a different way. Letting the whole right side of the body be heavy, and then tune into your areas that need to relax and keep relaxing them over and over again. For whatever reason today, that is me and around my thighs and my hips. So I'm going to keep coming, I'm going to scan my whole body, but I'm going to come back to that area and relax it a little bit more. Being present with your body is what it's all about. All right, and then walk your arms and legs back to center. Your arms can come down. From here, let's bend our knees with our ankles hip distance apart. We're going to bring our knees in. You can hold on to them, or it might be very light. But from here, you're going to keep checking your ribs. We don't want the ribs up. We want the ribs relaxed down, but we're going to untuck, tailbone all the way down, and tuck our pelvis in. So in particular, when you tuck in and your tailbone lifts up and your waist flattens, your ribs will come down. But then when you untuck, there's the chance that the ribs will lift up. So you want to try to keep your ribs relaxed down as you tuck and untuck your pelvis. And tuck and untuck. Tuck and untuck, and then do a couple more of those and go much slower. Can you really feel how your sacrum comes down, your waist comes down, and then as you rotate your pelvis, how your waist starts to come up without pulling on the ribs? Hopefully your sacrum comes up a little bit, your tailbone comes down. Let's do one more like that. And then next time you untuck, put your feet down, nice natural level pelvis. Walk your feet wide. Let your thighs drop in towards each other. If your thighs do not drop in easily, then let the outer edges of your feet lift up. If they drop in easily, you can keep your feet down. If keeping your feet down causes any strain in any of your joints, then of course don't keep your feet down. Really let those thighs relax in. Reach your arms up into the air, turn the palms of the hands to face away from you, and open your thumbs to the floor and bring your pinky fingers together. And as you open and close, work within a few inches. So sometimes you can open your thumbs a little bit higher, and sometimes you can open your thumbs a little bit lower towards your lower chest area, and everywhere in between there. Keep checking in around those thighs, buttocks muscles, hips. Seeing if you can just release and relax a little bit more. Letting those thighs drop in. If it feels like it's starting to relax, maybe walk your feet a tiny little bit wider from each other. You can just walk one foot out if one side seems like it's relaxing and the other one is not. And then with this rotation, your hands facing behind you, your thumbs out, open your arms with your thumbs pointing down. If this becomes uncomfortable, you can rotate your palms to up, but moving your arms up and down like snow angel arms. Keep a slight bend in the elbow. And even here, check, tailbone tilting down, but if that causes the ribs to lift up, relaxing them down as much as possible. The ultimate goal is that they relax down without you having to force them down. And so that's where having something higher under your head or something under your shoulder blades will really support building your core strength if your ribs tend to thrust up all the time. And as you go up and down with your arms here, check in with those thigh muscles. Can you release and let go a little bit more? Anywhere from your ankles to your knees and your knees to your pelvis. And let's do a couple more here with our arms. Breathing. And then next time your arms come down, open your legs up, walk your feet in hip distance apart. Wrap the strap around the back of your left thigh. And then cross your right ankle over your knee. Think tailbone going that way as your thighs come in towards you. So not this is a spinal movement. Tilt your spine so your tailbone goes down and just try to pull your thighs in towards you. You can flex your right ankle, you can flex your left ankle. Feel like you're on the center of your pelvis. Let that right thigh drop open any amount. And it's an interesting thing just to notice. That's kind of clenching. Like if you could let that right thigh relax open a little bit, that means you were holding it in slightly. So you just catch how we clench in all these interesting ways. Relax all around the top of your thigh bone. Okay, put your left foot down. Keep your right ankle crossed over. And what we're going to do here is a lot of times I have you do this twist where you twist to your left and your right foot comes down. But we're going to do the opposite today. You're going to keep your legs in this shape and you're going to twist your right thigh over to the floor. And you can just kind of roll any way that's comfortable on your left foot. Relax, release, let go. Then push down through your right elbow to unwind. Let your right thigh slide over your left thigh. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right and then do a 2-knee roll over to the left. And just let everything come down as much as feels comfortable. You can extend your right arm out behind you. You can rest it by your side. Can you relax all around the top of your thigh bones? And push down through your left elbow to unwind. Uncross your legs. Wrap your strap around the back of your right thigh. Cross your left ankle over. Flex your ankle. And think of tailbone pressing down as thighs come in. Even though your pelvis is going that way, notice if it pulls your ribs up. Try to soften your ribs down. If you notice over and over again that your ribs don't soften down with ease, put something extra under your blanket or under your shoulders before class. A blanket, center your hips. Or do something a little higher under your head. And eventually, your head can come down without your ribs coming up at all. So you don't always have to have something so high under the back of your head. But it really does take time for that to happen, not only through the movements we do here, but also just your daily habits of where you hold yourself is really why it takes the most time. Oh, release, let go, relax all around that left hip. And then let your right foot come down. Keep your left ankle crossed over and roll to the left, keeping the shape of your legs. Kind of wiggle your right foot so it's comfortable. Nothing should be uncomfortable in any of your joints. If you were to feel pressure in your knee, you might walk your right foot a little bit forward. So like scooting it forward a little bit so there's less bend in the right knee. Can anything let go a little bit more? And then push down through your left elbow to unwind. Slide your left thigh over your right. Scoot your hips a hop or two over to the left. And then do a 2-knee cross-legged roll over to the right. If it's not comfortable to have your legs crossed, you can just stack your top leg on top of your bottom leg. You can reach your left arm behind you or let it rest by your side. Become present with your body and with your breath. Can your hips soften a little bit deep in your buttocks muscles? Creating space for things to flow within you for optimal health. Creating space for blood flow, for lymph flow, for your nervous system energy to move. All right, push down through that right elbow and unwind. Grab your strap, wrap it around the ball of your right foot, right below your toes. Extend your left leg long, keep untucking the pelvis, and then only bring the thigh up so much that the leg can stay straight or straighter. Line up the ankle right over the hip. Start noticing, oh yeah, every time I come into this stretch, my leg isn't over my outer hip. It's more in the center of my body. Because the chances are those things are the kind of details that are happening all day long when you're in different positions. All right, externally rotate that thigh bone. If your ankle twists one way or the other, untwist it. Lengthen up. And internally rotate your thigh bone. If your ankle twists, untwist it. See if you can straighten through that thigh bone a little bit more. And then switch. Put the ball of your left foot through the strap, extend your right leg, tilt your tailbone down. Play with the pelvis staying in neutral, the ankle staying over the hip, and the leg straightening a little bit more as maybe it comes up a little higher. Be careful if you're a mobile person, because when you lift your leg up higher, sometimes the hip will kind of hike up towards the waist because the range of motion is missing in some of the hip muscles. So we start moving the waist and the lower back instead. So watch that, because that definitely happens on my body. The higher I lift, the more I move at the waist. Your body compensates in all sorts of ways to conserve energy. And rotate your thigh bone out. Untwist the ankle if it twists. Check on the tilt of the pelvis and the rib cage. Can you relax and straighten that left leg a little bit more? And then internally rotate. Keep coming back to your breath. All right, release that. And from there, grab a block, put it between your thighs. Let's actually start with the widest width. So wide width, medium width, thinnest width. Widest width, if you don't have a block, you're approximating. Tilt your tailbone down, ribs relax down, lift your legs up, split your lower legs apart. So you have to kind of hug that block in snug and bring your lower legs hip distance. Split your lower legs apart, hip distance. Split them apart, hip distance, split them apart, hip distance. Now you can put your feet down to relax them as you switch the block. Turn it to the second widest width, and then bring your feet back up and split and in, and split and in, and split and in, and split and in, and then turn the block on the narrowest width. If it's too narrow, then bring it back, legs about 90 degrees. Split your lower legs and bring them in, split, and bring them in, split, and bring them in, and split, and bring them in, and lower your feet down. Take that block out. You can roll over to one side or rock yourself up. Come on up onto your knees. You're going to tuck your toes under, and you can either sit back on your heels like I am, or you can stand up the whole time and still get a wonderful foot stretch. If it doesn't feel good to sit back on your heels. Check your ankles. Are they rolling to one side or the other? Center your ankles, and then once you're comfortable either standing up or sitting back, bring your right hand in front of you. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist in line. Flip your wrist down and gently pull your pinky finger down and back. And then keep flipping the wrist as you pull your ring finger back. Check your ankles, whether you're sitting on your heels or not. Are they rolling to one side or the other? Can you feel more of your toes, more of the ball of your foot? And ring finger, or that's middle finger, sorry, we just did ring finger. And pointer finger. Notice if your hand starts twisting, bring it back, reach your left hand over more. And then gently your thumb out to the side and back. Keep tilting your wrists down. And let's switch hands. So if your feet need a break, come up. This is also just a different stretch for the bottom of the feet. Wrist tilts down, pull that pinky finger back. And pulling your ring finger back. And middle finger. See, interestingly enough, even though there's more load when you sit back on your heels, because I sit back on my heels so often, I actually feel more foot stretch here. That's just how the body goes. You have to just go into all different shapes, and as things wake up, you'll feel things that in motions that you feel like, oh, I'm not doing as much. Sometimes you'll feel a lot more sensation. And thumb out to the side and back. All right, from there, sit your hips back. You can untuck your feet for a moment. Put the back of one hand on the mat. Spread your thumb out. It's okay if you're here or a little forward. If you're a little forward, your arm might go a little more forward. And then from there, you can keep your elbow out to the side or rotate it any place. Now, if it doesn't rotate with ease, then you're just gonna let it stay out to the side. But over time, you can start playing, does it rotate? And yes, eventually you might rotate your elbow pit all the way forward, but every little rotation in between gets different stripes of the forearm, so you can kind of rotate and look for stripes of tension and stay there. And for me, my greatest stripe of tension right now is not with my elbow pit all the way forward. And then switch, put the back of your other hand down. And sometimes it's great to just stay with your elbow out to the side like this. Sometimes this is the stripe of tension that needs our awareness and our attention. And then you can start to rotate. And sometimes when I'm just even beginning to feel like I want to rotate, right there is a good place to stop. So sometimes the most micro movement you can make gets right into the area that you need to get into. But of course, you can always play with that rotation. And breathing here. All right, release. Come onto your forearms. Tuck your toes under. Flip your palms up. Try to touch your pinky toes and your thumbs. Belly relaxed, tailbone high. If you tend to be a rib thruster like me, can you lift your ribs up without tucking your pelvis under? So ribs up, belly stays relaxed, and keep that slight lift of your ribs as you go forward and back. You can just see how everything's connected. If the ribs aren't in place, it pulls on the hips differently. If the pelvis isn't in neutral, it pulls on the ribs differently. And all of those pulls are good. It's just we want to figure out what our chronic habits are. Tuning into your breath here. Gosh, I definitely can tell I don't pay attention to keeping my ribs up here enough because I can definitely feel some different muscles, which is really nice. Keep rolling the thumbs open, paying attention to the pinky toes. All right, and then come up onto all fours, spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits forward. So keep in mind, if when you're here and you're loading your wrist, you start to feel like, like there's pressure in them, the things we did before this, stretching your hands out, the back of the hands, things like that, stretching the fingers with the wrist flipping down are very helpful. From here, belly relaxes, but find the top of the rhomboid push-up. So instead of sinking down, you lift up through your armpits and your breastbone, and then rock forward and back. Keep spreading the thumbs out. Keep wrapping the elbow pits forward. Of course, only go so far forward that it feels okay on your wrist. There should be no discomfort. Try to about center your wrist underneath your shoulders. Work your palms into the floor and try to lift your 8 fingertips up off the floor. And then relax those fingers down. You can either stand up on your knees and just do a side to side, shift your hips over to the right, press up slowly, shift your hips over to the left, press up slowly, or if sitting back is fine for you, you can shift your hips over to the right and try to let them come down slowly to the floor, and shift your hips over to the left and try to let them come down slowly and try to slowly lift them up. So you're trying to use less momentum. If you're doing the low version and you're just like, there's no way, your hips just kind of do a flop, one thing you could do is you could stack a pillow or a couple blocks on either side of your hips and then shift over so that you're not going so low, and shift over to the other side and try to do it nice and controlled, and then maybe lower to something a little lower like a towel. And sometimes Again, every angle is good for the body, so sometimes it might be very beneficial for me to have a towel on each side here and not go so low, and that way I can check. It feels like I'm doing it smoothly, but I'm probably still falling a little bit. Let's do one more each side, to the right and to the left side. You can still be high on your knees and just sitting your hips back. And then come back onto all fours, hands and knees. Spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits forward, ground through your feet, and let's do a really slow cat-cow. So tuck your tailbone under and try to feel like you're going bone by bone by bone up your spine until your upper back rounds and your head comes down. Keep wrapping your elbow pits forward and then keep your upper back rounded and start to untuck your pelvis. And try to go nice and slow, bone by bone by bone, until your head starts to come up a little bit. Ground through the feet. Now let's start at the head. Let the head drop down. Feel the back of the neck lift up. Start to go up between the shoulder blades. Go nice and slow. Try to feel the mid back and then the lower back. And then eventually the tailbone goes under. And then from there, we'll go the opposite way. You'll let your head go up nice and slow. And then start to feel between the shoulder blades sink down. And anywhere area that goes fast, you want to slow down there. And then the mid back and the lower back. And then the tail goes nice and high up into the air. And then from there, let's go ahead and sit. Let's do some rhomboid push-ups here. So keep your tailbone high, lift up through the upper back, and relax down. Press equally through the palms. Lift up, feel those armpits lift up, and relax down, and lift up. So we're going to be on all fours doing several things today. So you want to be in the upward position without tucking your tailbone under, feet active, thumbs spreading out, elbow pits wrapping forward. If your head always hangs, ramping the back of the head up. Go ahead and come off of your wrist. Step your right foot forward into a lunge. Ankle a little in front of the knee. Pelvis nice and vertical. Slide forward. If this starts to happen, the tilt of the pelvis, you went too far. So see how far you can slide forward with a vertical pelvis and then back up over your knee. Slide forward a little bit and back up. Slide forward a little and back up. Slide forward a little. Hold. Take your left arm up and over into a side bend and go ahead and let that left hip push out to the left a little bit. Keep your right knee open over your right ankle and then come back up, and with cactus arms, turn your belly, pubic bone forward, ribs relax down. Turn your belly button to the right. Breathing here. Feel those upper arm bones spread out. And then unwind and switch legs. Step your right knee back. Step your left foot forward. Ankles hip distance apart. Start with your left ankle a little in front of your knee, your pelvis in vertical as you go forward and back up. Don't let that pubic bone go behind your ASIS bone. So work within the boundary of your pelvis staying vertical, the front of your pelvis. All right, next time you go forward a little, take that right arm up and over side bend. Let the right hip push out to the right a little bit, keeping the left knee stacked over the left ankle. And then bring your arm back up, cactus arms, pubic bone forward, ribs down. Twist the belly button towards your leg. Feel like you're reaching out through your upper arm bones. Breathing here, check the stability of the back foot, the front foot. And then unwind with your ankle under your knee, tuck your back toes under, push down to come up to stand. Once you're up to stand, let's go ahead and do our top of the foot stretch, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart approximately. Tuck your right foot back behind you. You can do a bent knee, you can do a straighter leg, you can put a pillow or cushion under your foot. You know what? I'm going to do that option today. So you can put a block under your foot, you can change it up. So wherever you are in your top of the foot stretch, you can work on stacking your hip over your ankle, rotating your thigh bone into neutral, lifting your kneecap up and down. Those things come with time. But let's go ahead and drop our right ear to our right shoulder and nod our head slowly, yes. And slowly bring your head up, left ear to left shoulder, and nod your head yes. Try to relax, clenching along the top of that right foot. Really is nice with a pillow. I do it a lot with a pillow, like when I'm just around my house. I don't always do it in this class with a pillow, but great way to practice sometimes. All right, top of the foot, different textures is an amazing way to move your body. That's why walking on different textures under your feet, sand, rocks, grass, really good. Moves your little feet muscles in different ways, all the bones of your feet. Check in with your balancing leg. Foot straight, hips over heels to start. Over time, neutral rotation, relaxing the kneecap. And let's turn and look over our right shoulder and nod our head yes there. And of course, if you're just new to the calf, the top of the foot stretch, you just focus on that. If you've been doing it a while, maybe just turn your head, and then over time, maybe you put a little movement into your neck if you can maintain your balance. Turn and look over your left shoulder and nod your head up and down. And do try to relax that left top of the foot. All right, bring your head back. Bring your foot back, and then from here, let's grab whatever you're going to use for your calf stretch. We're going to do 3 different calf stretches. We're going to do our rainbow. So we're going to actually start with our thigh bone turned out a little bit, our foot turned out to the side. Our left foot is still straight. You can step it forward any amount. Feel the center of your heel. And then from here, with our foot turned out to the side, your right arm pushing, thumb pointing forward, you're going up into the air. When you get up into the air, rotate your arm bones so your palm faces away from you. And then with your ribs relaxed down and your legs steady, keep on going. Keep kind of twisting that thumb down behind you as your arm comes down. Reaching your left arm into the air. When you get to the top, rotate so your palm faces away from you. Keep on going. Keep kind of turning that thumb behind you. Nothing should be bothering you in any of your joints. And let the hand come back down by your side. Step your left foot back a little bit. Internally rotate. Turn your thigh bone in. Turn your foot in. Square your hips. Maybe your left foot steps a little bit forward. Nice straight legs, reach your arms out to the sides and rotate your arm bones with a micro bend in your elbows all the way one way, all the way the other way. Especially if you've been doing these for a while, go a little bit slower sometimes. Notice when you internally rotate, how much do your shoulders want to go up your back? Can you relax them down? Keep your shoulder blades relaxed down and still rotate your arm bones. So at first, maybe you don't pay attention to the shoulder blades going up and down, but then eventually there's the ability to rotate your arm bones, but keeping those shoulder blades relaxed down your back. All right, from there, let's come to our straight calf stretch. Outer edge of the foot straight, maybe the left foot steps forward. Reach your arms forward, ribs relax down, and we'll do shoulder circles. We'll reach our arms forward, down, pull back without lifting the ribs up. So if ribs are up here, drop them down and go up. And forward, down, back, and up. Forward, down, back, and up. Forward, relax your arms down, switch feet. So external rotation. Square the hips, center the ankle, maybe the outside foot steps forward. Left thumb leads the way as the arm goes up. Rotate the palm of the hand to face away from you, and then keep going and turning that thumb down to the floor as you circle that arm around. Right hand lead with the thumb, rotate the palm to face away from you. Keep on going, keep twisting that hand around as you come back down by your side. And then internally rotate, center the heel, square the hips, and maybe step that outside foot forward, arms out to the side. Think of ribs relaxed down, shoulder blades staying relaxed down the back as you rotate your arm bones. So at first, everything's connected, and you can rotate your arm bones with your shoulder blades going up and down. And external rotation is a tool to keep your shoulder blades down. But you can also relax your shoulder blades down and just move more at the shoulder joint, which might be a little bit less range of motion, which might tap into some tighter muscles that go underused around your armpit and shoulder area. Breathing here. Definitely a little more work in the shoulders to keep those shoulder blades relaxed down. And then from there, let's turn our foot to straight, reach our arms straight ahead. This time we'll start by going back and down, forward and up. Back, ribs stay relaxed down the whole time. Down, forward and up. Go back, down, forward and up, and back, down, forward and up, and then relax your arms down. Step off of your calf stretch. You can put that to your side. And then from here, let's start at the top of the mat and fold forward over your thigh bones, maybe rotating your thigh bones into neutral. Sit back into a chair pose. Hands come down, right foot stays forward, left foot steps way back. Softly lower that knee down to the mat. Check your right ankle is right over your right knee. And then from there, you can have your hand down on the floor or a block, your left hand. So if you want a little more height, you're still working on thumb out, elbow pit wrapping forward. Check if your hips tend to drop to one side. Square your hips, and you're going to twist your right arm open and then curl your right arm under your right thigh. Let's do that one more time. Right arm open, and then curl your right arm under your right thigh. Now we can add something on. Twist your right arm open, hold, maybe lift and tap your back knee down. Curl under your right leg. Maybe lift and tap your knee down. Twist open, maybe lift and tap. Curl under, rounding the upper back, lift and tap. And then unwind one more time, bring that hand down, lift your back knee up, and walk halfway around to the left and parallel your feet. Weight back in the heels, push down through the backs of the legs to come up. Shift your hips to the right, shift your hips to the left. How much twist is happening as you shift? Put your hands on the side of your hips and try to go straight across without bending the knee, and straight across in the other direction. Straight across one direction, straight across the other direction. Come back to center. Keep your hips steady. Reach your arms out to the side. Slide your ribs to one side. Slide your ribs to the other side. Ribs dropping down and back. Rib slide, hips steady. Rib slide. Good. Rib slide to the right. Rib slide to the left. Rib slide to the right. Rib slide to the left. Come back to center. Rotate over your pelvis. Bring your block high enough that your legs can stay pretty straight. Maybe you work on your fingertips. Maybe you can flatten your palm. Put your left hand on the block. Work on wrapping your elbow pit forward, unless you're working on your fingertips so your back and spine can stay a little bit straighter. Reach your right arm out to the side, thumb up, twist open. Reach up as you press down, and then keep checking on your left elbow pit as you curl under and reach through. And twist open, and curl under and reach through. And then twist open and switch hands. Bring that right hand down, thumb spreads out, elbow pits wrap forward. Reach your left hand out to the side, thumb up, weight back in the heels, twist open, and curl under, checking on the alignment of that right arm. Twist open, and curl under. Twist open, and then go ahead and let that hand come down. Walk back around to your right foot at the top of the mat. Lower your back knee, stand up in your lunge, and walk your right foot out to the right. When your right foot is out to the right, turn your foot a little bit out to the right. If you need to pad or adjust your left knee, make sure it's comfortable so that your right foot's out to the right, your knee's in line with that foot, and then slowly bend into that knee. There should be no discomfort in the knee, in your back knee, and come out. Bend into the knee a little bit, press out. Bend into the knee a little bit, press out. Bend into the knee a little bit, hold. Breathing here, smooth inhales and exhales, relaxing, clenching around the inner thigh. Press out and then walk that right foot back in. Slide your right knee back to meet your left knee. Come on to all fours, spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits forward. Find the top of the rhomboid push-up, belly relaxed, tailbone in the air. And then you're going to curl your one knee forward, circle it around, back it up behind you, and then come forward again. So out to the side, keep wrapping the elbow pits forward, heel in towards the buttocks, and then switch the direction of the circle, up behind you, out to the side and forward. And the whole time you're not letting your spine collapse down and your ribs go down. Top of the rhomboid push-up, lower belly relax, one more circle in that direction, and then lower that knee down. Other side, thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward, top of the rhomboid push-up. The knee curls in, circles out to the side, back behind you, and forward. Out to the side, back behind you, and forward. Switch the direction. Back behind you, circles out to the side. If you get cracking and popping, do less range of motion. Back behind you, out to the side, and back down, and lower that knee down. From there, come onto your toes and sit your hips back any amount. You can stay here. You can sit all the way back on your heels, depending how your feet are feeling now. Or with your hands down, you can rock from the balls of your feet towards the tips of your toes. So your choice. If it doesn't feel good to rock, just stay where you are, feeling the bottom of your feet. And then walk forward onto all fours, elbow pits forward, top of the rhomboid push-up, step back to a plank pose. Go up and back to a downward facing dog. Check your feet, thumbs spreading out, elbow pits feel like they're wrapping forward. Back your weight up towards your heels. And then nice and slowly bend both of your knees. Get your tailbone nice and high, and then keep it high as you straighten back through your thigh bones. Let's do that one more time. Bend your knees, get your tailbone nice and high. If you tend to thrust your ribs here, curl them up, but chances are if you tuck your pelvis under, your ribs are not thrusting as much. You want to work on the pelvis first, and then slowly straighten your thigh bones back. Shift forward into a plank pose. knees up or down, wrap your elbow pits forward, keep lifting the ribs up, and lower down to your belly. Once you're there, you can create a pillow for your head. Let your head lay down unless you're looking. Bend your right knee, flex your ankle, heel right over your knee, and lift and lower. But it's very small and with very little momentum, because if you lift and your hip starts lifting up, you're going to go into your lower back muscles. Or if you lift too high, your lower back starts taking over. So do micro lift and lower with your knee bent. And do let your head relax down so your spine is in one long line. And then do that same leg, extend it, tuck your toes under, reach back through the heel, and try to do the same thing with as straight of a leg as possible. And you really don't want it to be super high. You want to try to focus on straightening the leg more and just a little lift so we center the work in the back of the thigh and the buttocks muscles. When your toes touch down, see if you can feel all 5 toes, because that rotation will help you also use more of your leg muscles. And then let's switch. Bend your knee, heel right over the knee, and micro lift and lower. Really keep that pelvis grounded into the floor. Head relaxing down, spine relaxing down. You're just lifting and lowering at your own pace. And then extend that leg with your toes tucked under. Straighten the leg all the way and try to keep the leg straight as an arrow and the pelvis really grounded as you lift and lower. Watch the rotation of the toes. So if you can feel all 5 toes touch down, it will also maybe help you feel more work all along the buttocks muscles as you lift and lower. Very, very small, very precise movement to target this area. And then from there, let that leg relax. Walk your hands back. Curl your ribs up to push yourself up. Stand up on your knees. Step your right foot forward. Your left hand can be on a block. Start with your right ankle a little in front of your left knee. Maybe wrap your, or maybe not maybe, but wrap your elbow pit forward. And then from there, you can stay here, or you can lift your back knee and twist open and hold for a breath. Knee down or up. Feel all 5 toes. And then curl under, rounding the upper back, and hold for a breath. Great opportunity to check on what's going on. Are you extending that elbow in front of that wrist? Bring the elbow back a little bit. And then relax your hand, lower the knee down, stand up in your low lunge, and push up to come up. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Wonderful day to move. Rotate from the pelvis. Now, if you've been working on feet straight, hips over heels for a while, you start paying attention to that rotation of your thigh bones and the lines on the back of the knee. Sit back into your chair pose. Fold over your legs, keep your left foot forward, step your right leg way back. Softly lower the knee, palm flat, elbow pit wraps forward, or you can use the block any height, second highest height, lowest height. From there, watch your hips twisting to one side, center them, twist your left arm open, curl under, twist open, curl under. Twist open, maybe lift and lower your back knee. Curl under, maybe lift and lower your back knee. Twist open, maybe lift, keep checking the right elbow pit and lower your back knee. Curl under, maybe lift and lower your back knee. Lift your back knee up. Everyone, bring your hands inside your left foot. Walk halfway around to the right and parallel your feet. Back your weight up into your heels, push up to stand. Try to keep your hips steady as you shift to the right and shift to the left. And what I mean by steady is no twist front to back. Shift to one side and shift to the other side. back to center, arms out to the side, hips steady, ribs relax down, shift to the left, and shift to the right. Shift to the left, and shift to the right. If you have a lot of lower back tension, keep gently working on those two motions. Rotate your pelvis, bring your right hand down to the block, wrap the elbow pit forward, reach your left arm out. By the way, if the block is too low and your spine is rounding, use the seat of a chair. Twist open, and then curl under. And twist open, and curl under. Twist open, switch hands, thumb spreads out, elbow pits wrap forward, thumb pointing up, twist open, and curl under. Check on the alignment of the elbow pit and the thumb. Twist open, and curl under. And then twist open, and let your hands come down and walk back around to your left foot. Softly lower your knee down. Feel free to pad that knee. Make sure it's right under the hip and heel toe your left foot out to the left. Let your left toes turn out to the left so your knee is pointing in line. You really don't want to do this if you feel discomfort on the back knee, so pat it over or slightly move it. Bend in and press out. Bend in, relax any clenching, press back. Bend in a little bit, press back. Bend in a little bit and hold. Relax around your inner thighs. Ground through your toes. Breathing here. Relax around the front of that thigh. Good. Push back. Walk your foot in and then step your left foot back to meet your right knee. Thumbs spread out to the side. Wrap your elbow pits forward, top of the rhomboid push-up, but the belly stays relaxed, tailbone in the air, and then we lift our right knee, flexed ankle, and tap down. Lift, keep the top of the rhomboid push-up, otherwise this happens and it turns into spine work instead of hip work, and tap down. And lift, ribs stay lifted, back of the head stays ramped, tap down, and lift, tap down. Let's work that same leg. Extend long, toes touch down, keep the ribs up, lift, straight as an arrow, tap, and lift, and tap. Can you feel all 5 toes touch down? Keep that rotation as you lift, and tap, and lift, and tap. Lower your knee down. Flip both of your hands over. Try to touch all 8 fingertips as you pull back and spread your thumbs out to the side. Breathing. Bring the backs of your hands. If you need to just do one at a time, just do one at a time. Do one, take 2 breaths. Do the other one, take a couple breaths. And come back onto all 4s. Thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward, top of the rhomboid push-up, and lift. Keep the ribs up, tap down. Lift, tap down. Lift, tap down. Lift, tap down. Straighten that leg. Feel all 5 toes. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Elbow pits wrap, top of the rhomboid push-up. So much to pay attention to. Lift and tap. All 5 toes. Lift and tap. And then lower that knee down. Back your hips up. Step your left foot forward. Ankle a little in front of the knee. Right hand can be on the block or a floor. Wrap the elbow pits. Spread out through the thumb. Back knee stays down or lifted up. Circle, twist open. So much to check on. Your back foot, your your hand that's on the block or the floor, your elbow pit, the twist of your hips, the twist of your waist. Curl under and hold there. Is your left knee collapsing in or out? Breathing. And then release that hand, release that knee, slide your front knee back to meet your back knee. And let's do a frog pose. So walk your knees wide. Turn your feet out to the side. You can stay on your hands. You can put block or blocks in front of you and come down to your forearms. You can come down to the floor, but like everything else, I recommend that you do different angles because especially if you have hypermobility in some areas, it's really easy for your bones to move out of the way and for you to just kind of sit in your connective tissue instead of using your muscle to support you here, even as you try to teach it to relax. Breathing here. You can play with a little bit of movement, checking your knees are even, moving your hips a little side to side. Breathing. I'm telling you, if you have a part of the body that is tight and tense and you don't even know it because you don't even feel it, when it starts waking up, you're just going to feel so much. Those areas of your body where you don't feel any sensation when you're stretching, chances are that those areas are tight and you will start to feel them wake up the more you come into them in alignment, and you'll be like, whoo, that's what I've been missing all these years, feeling those deep muscles not letting go. All right, walk your hands up. Take your time walking your knees in. Have a seat with your knees bent in front of you, pretty wide, feet flat. Do the best you can to roll to one side and then come back to center and roll to the other side. Any amount. So farther away, a little bit less pressure on the knees, feet in a little closer to you, knee has a little bit more bend to it as long as it feels comfortable. Sitting up tall. How about next time you go to the right with your leg stay, walk your hands straight behind your torso, thumbs spread out, bend your elbows, hug them in towards each other. Breathing, press equally through the palms, keep relaxing around those thighs. Press up through your hands, legs come back to center, legs go over to the other side. Hands straight behind your torso, thumbs spread out, maybe elbows bend, maybe you just rest your hands on the floor. Keep breathing as you relax a little bit more around your thigh and hip muscles. And then press up and bring those legs back and walk them in and come onto your back with some support under your head. And let's just scoot our hips to the right, extend your left leg and roll your leg over any amount. You're welcome to put something underneath your leg. Spinal roll. And switch sides, unwind, scoot your hips to the left, extend your right leg long, spinal roll, your left knee goes over to a block or the floor or a bolster or a pillow. If you never do a bolster or pillow under your leg, I highly, highly recommend it. Goes back to that same philosophy of we can often go further, but it doesn't always mean we're hitting what we need to hit. And then relax, release, let go. Unwind, come onto your back. If it feels good to stretch your arms and legs long, you can. If it feels good to give your knees a little hug in, if it feels good to do both, you can. And then let your palms flip up by your side. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. And become very present with your body and with your breath. You are enough. Animals don't spend any time wondering whether they are enough, comparing themselves to others in the animal kingdom. Hummingbirds don't envy the skills of a woodpecker. Salmon don't wish for the tentacles of an octopus. Like our plant and animal friends, each of us also has unique gifts. Some of us can sing, others can dance, some can write, others have a green thumb. Instead of wasting time comparing yourself to others, celebrate what you are. No matter what it is, we all have something special to offer the world. Remember, you are enough, just as you are. I highly encourage you to stay longer in Savasana if you have the time. But if you're ready to move, take a wiggle or a rock or a reach or a rotate. And then roll over to your side and take a full inhale. And wait until you exhale all the way out to press yourself up. And then come to any sitting position, bringing your hands together in gratitude for your unique gifts, in gratitude for this day. Namaste.